Hi guys, thanks for joining and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Yossi, my name is Pfandleiher, and today we're going to talk about the offline PGP method. But first, since this is my first international appearance, let me tell you something about myself. You might remember the Silk Road founded by Ross Ulbricht back in 2011-2012. If you happen to have any friend or dealer who bought the first Molly, who was one of the first clients to buy Molly from Germany, from a German guy, from the German vendor on the Silk Road, that was me. During this lockdown, we read a lot about crypto phones, encrypted messengers, and all that kind of stuff. And this guy took it to another level, and he spent a lot of time and he put much effort into this topic, and he gonna tell us what he came up with.
Well, for those of you who might know a thing or two about the crypto world, like Bitcoin, Monero, and all the others, you know the saying, not your keys, not your coins. And when it comes to communication, that phrase is true equally. Not your keys, get kicked in the groin, maybe by the feds, one day or another. So today, we take a look at an older mobile device. It's a Samsung Galaxy S4. That was flashed with the Linux operating system, and some hardware alterations were made to the device in order to get a little more privacy, become a super user, and have more control over what's actually going on the phone, and in the final stage to have it completely disconnected from any networks, in order to use it only for de- and encrypting by PGP on this device, on this handheld device, and then transmit the encrypted information only optically via QR codes that are scanned from the device's display to get the message out. Sounds like a lot? That's what we're gonna do today. So guys, in the show notes, we have a book recommendation for you on the general history of encryption and decryption. That is a public service announcement, kind of. And further, we have a wallet addresses to both Bitcoin and Monero. If you want to contribute to this content, feel free. We also have a link to a Reddit post about the modifications on the phone and a detailed map of all the parts on the motherboard and where they are. Now let's start with the actual work. So the device we have here today is a Samsung Galaxy S4 Mini. You can find it on the secondary market. It's quite cheap. We got this one for 20 euros. I don't know how much that is in dollar, but about the same. You also see the tools that I have ready to use. You don't need necessarily all of them, but I advise you to have like a reasonably sharp clipper and a mini screwdriver that comes with a lot of sets to work on cell phones or electronics. The S4 Mini is one of the very last models produced by Samsung that still has a removable battery. And with only unscrewing a number of tiny little screws on the back, you can actually reach the motherboard without great difficulty. It comes in handy if you have a little cup or something to put the screws in so they don't get lost along the way. To separate the outer parts of the phone from the motherboard, you can do that either with your fingernails, as I demonstrate in this video, or you can use like a guitar pick. Maybe that is of help if you have fragile fingernails. So let me tell you a little bit about the components on the inside of the phone. We start at the bottom, where we have the charging port right in the center bottom. We have one of two microphones to the left, which is like gold plated. We have two antennas in the bottom for 3G and GSM. We have the front facing camera on the top left. Next to it is a infrared receiving and sending device and a loudspeaker. This is the back facing camera. We're gonna leave that on the phone. Here are two antennas for 4G reception, and below that the single one is for the Wi-Fi signal. We're gonna leave that one on for the devices that I strip partly. We're gonna take the Wi-Fi antenna off as well for the total strip down if we want to use it for the sole purpose of encrypting and decrypting PGP. There's the second microphone on the top and the headphone jack that will remain intact. In case you want to make regular voice calls, you can plug in a headset and that works pretty fine, but you can be sure that the phone cannot be used as a bug since both microphones were physically removed. Now, in order to get the motherboard from the display, you can easily unclip these connections and remove this metal clip at the top with the tiny screwdriver. The motherboard comes right off, and if you feel a resistance, there's probably something left that snaps off at the touch of your fingernail. Here the top camera just fell off by itself, so we don't have to do any more. Now with this tiny clipper, we're gonna just take off the top microphone. There's not really much damage you can do in this process, just clip it off. Same goes for the bottom microphone. One clip and it's gone. Now I'm going to remove the antennas at the bottom. Both of them, they are for 3G and GSM connections. In our setup, we don't want both of these since we don't want the device to connect to any mobile towers, since these are usually connections that are used to infect your device with malware or surveillance software. You might argue that this can happen through the Wi-Fi as well, and you're right about that. But as far as Germany goes, we can be sure that for most people it's sufficient to just don't connect to cell towers. The two antennas at the top left are removed as well as the antenna at the top right. Only the Wi-Fi antenna stays in place. Here we have the infrared connector and the loudspeaker, which is not needed to be clipped off because they are only clipped to the motherboard. These two that appear to be antennas on the bottom left are in fact connectors for the loudspeakers, and they can remain in place. Finally, just put together what you put apart before. Quite easy. Everything back in place. As you can see, the device is now put together, and I will start it up. You will take notice that we already installed a Linux operating system on it. This is not your standard Android ROM. It has some very nice features, in my opinion. If you want to know more about the perks of Linux, let us know in the comments. Maybe we do a follow-up video on that.
Alright, Yossi, that was some great work. Thanks for walking us through.
You're welcome. So that was all about the hardware that we prepared for our little project. And the next step is, what software are you going to use to get to our goal, which is do decryption and encryption air-gapped on a tiny practical handheld device. Let's get to it.
Okay guys, now it's my part to walk you through. Here is what we're going to do. Yossi has his offline device, which has already the apps Open Keychain PGP on it and SecScan QR. His main objective now is to share his PGP key with my offline device. He gonna accomplish this by converting it into a QR code using the SecScan QR app. Now the thing is that the QR codes are struggling with anything above 1000, 1500 characters. This is why the key, which has 1800, has to be split into two. That can be done easily by putting a blank line in between. Here we can see that Yossi takes the first half and converts it into a QR code, which he then reads with his second device, which has online access. This is a regular one carrying no sensitive data, no unencrypted sensitive data. Same thing with the second half. He stores it in the editor. He puts it back together. And now, depending on your anxiousness or on your paranoia level, you have many ways how you could share this key with my online device. For example, send a mail. This many characters have to be 2 Instagram messages, for example, but you can post it under any Facebook post in the comment section. So we tested it. This one is enough. But for your safety, I recommend not to share keys online if not necessary. To be absolutely safe, use this method rather only for messages. Okay, now you can see my online device. I got the key via mail. I'm gonna do the exact same thing as Yossi did. I'm gonna split the key into 2, feed the first half to the SecScan QR app, convert it, store it in the editor, send the second half, put the pieces together. Now let's see if I have received a valid key. I already had it, but as you see, it worked regardless. Now that I have a secure line to Yossi, I can finally share my thoughts with him, because I urgently need to tell him that broccoli is gerund. I choose not to sign it because signature is making a difference of 1,000 characters. And as I just told you, I would have to split, and I don't want to because I'm lazy. So I convert it back into a QR code. I read it from my online device. And due to my new superpowers, I feel really ballsy. I choose to look up the federal police page. I scroll down to the article from last week, which is about drug-related crimes and drug developments in general in Germany in the year 2020. As we have learned, the shift continues towards the cyber world. So I left my post. All Yossi has to do is look up that article, scroll through the comment section, search for my post, copy and paste it to his clipboard, convert it into a QR code, and read it from the offline device. FYI, the keys, which are generated with the Open Keychain app, are encrypted at a bitrate of 3000, which is considered unbreakable, in my opinion, with the actual technical standards. So there it is. Yossi has read the QR code. He has the PGP message. All he has to do now is copy paste it into his PGP app, enter his password, and there you go. Broccoli is gerund.
So Sasha, that was it. We did it. Now
Yeah.
people can do it by themselves. They can jump through all these hoops and have encryption and decryption with a cheap-ass device from the secondary market, all open and free software. But it's quite a thing to do it.
Take this Encrochat, ANON, and whatever. This was like $25. I can't even believe people paid. Hey, is this like a good upsack? Shut up and take my money. Is this how you should do it? Talking about felonies reaching from 5 to 15 years in state prisons, which is, by the way, where we met. Just letting you know.
I guess most people are not out to get decent security for their money, but maybe they're trying to get someone who tells them that they just bought decent security.
They just want confidence.
And peace of mind.
Yeah.
So if you want to put 2K in the bucket for peace of mind, go ahead.
Twice a year, I think. I think 6 months was 2,000, right? I think it was quite pricey.
Let's see how the pricing will be on the next Encrochat. Will it go up? Will it go down? Who knows?
Just so you know, we just shot this tutorial twice in a row. The first one was in German. This one is in English, obviously. I want to give you the chance as well. There's a giveaway running on Instagram, which you can find on my page. It's yeah, this will be signed. I mean, for you guys, maybe if you don't know me, it's not worth as much. In German subculture, I'm kind of known by now. This device will be given away in 1 or 2 weeks on Instagram. Just find my account, comment, and tag 3 Anchor users under this post, like my page, and then let's see if you get lucky. I ship it to anywhere, just like back in the days. New Caledonia, New Zealand, Brazil, Mexico, I don't care. I'm gonna ship it to you if you're the lucky one. So yeah.
Give us your thoughts in the comments below. Let us know if you have ideas for improvements, or maybe that we skipped something that is crucially important in this process, and if there's something that we should improve. Do you want to know more about lineage? Do you want to hear more of our fantastic German accents? Let us know.
Krankenwagen!
Brokkoli ist gerund.
Which, by the way, doesn't even mean anything. So don't doubt your German skills. This was a typo. It doesn't have to make any sense. All right. See you soon. And let me know if you want to know more about the legendary Pfandleiher, which supplied the whole globe from Germany. Who was the one who put Germany on a red flag list when it comes to customs. They were like, oh, Germany, nothing bad ever came from Germany. But then suddenly, customs got aware of Germany pretty quick. All right, enough talk. See you guys. Bye.